But coming up first, we have the dope dad himself. That's right, Rico Lamitte, who has been out in the hood freezing his ass off because it has been raining and snowing and all kinds of other crazy global warming causes, even though it's freezing balls in Los Angeles. That's right, it is the dope dad himself, Rico Lamitte.
Jason, you know that global warming does not exist. You know it's a Chinese hoax. It's just supposed to get us all scared and all that stuff. But I digress as well. Sorry. So my story today is coming out of New York City. It's from Prism by Alexandra Martinez. A New York City cannabis community space is harming workers and Black-led businesses. All right, so back in May 2021, Danielle Cruz was convinced well-known New York cannabis brand and event producer Medley was a LGBTQIA plus and brown-led cannabis company based on their marketing and website. Despite lacking a license to sell, she joined what she thought to be a progressive and BIPOC-friendly company. But after 4 months of packaging, prepping, and delivering orders for him, Cruz realized Medley's inclusive public image was faker than a Jumpman logo doing a finger roll. And in an interview with Prism, she alleges that they engaged in harmful practices towards Black, brown, and immigrant workers. Cruz says Medley leadership told her that she'd have no space in the cannabis industry because all she wants to do is save the hood. And she's only creative because she grew up in poverty. Actually, Cruz did not grow up in poverty, but Medley leadership made the racist assumption because she's Puerto Rican and from the Bronx. The company's website smartly no longer shows pricing info given the recent about face on prosecution practices by Mayor Eric Adams. But Cruz says that their delivery to the Bronx required a $300 minimum, while Manhattan was just $100. She even went so far as to point out to management their delivery maps mirrored the city's redlining maps, deeming the Bronx a predominantly Latinx and Blacks borough too risky for their investment. Deeper into the article, Cruz says that the racism wasn't even her biggest concern. It was Medley's lack of sanitation and standardization practices when handling products. They would be packaging cannabis and mushrooms in the same bowls without cleaning them. I'd be sitting in the room with them, and they would be creating new names for the strains. They would pass the bag around, and everybody would smell it and say, "Oh, what kind of strain do you think this is?" These are all the things that she said as she shared a concern with one of the company's 3 founders and was told that her position is one of an Uber Eats driver for weed, and she should stay in her lane. Come September that year, she and other delivery drivers were ordered to unsafely deliver several pounds of glass-jarred product on bicycles to a Met Gala after party, causing 2 co-workers to get into accidents where one got a broken arm and another damaged her bike so bad that Cruz had to go and pick her up and take her home. Then this February, Black Girl Smoke founder Vic Stiles took her own grievances against Medley to IG Live, saying that she's experienced the company's bigoted practices firsthand. She accused them of threatening to copy BGS's acclaimed Puff in the Park event without credit, after she refused to partner on Medley's clone. Stiles said that she previously worked with the company on events but could no longer stay silent about their intolerant ways, alleging the group of only being interested in profiting off the proximity to Black-led cannabis brands and gaining credibility in BIPOC markets. She claims on a call with Medley's team, they verbally attacked her ability to run a company, plan an event, and rally an audience, ultimately saying they'd host their copycat event anyways, even without her approval. Immediately, I understood what it meant to be a culture vulture, Stiles said in the IG video. I don't know what, if anything, can be done in the first case, where Cruz was working for a well-known yet still a trap organization, and I'm not defending any of that in the least, but unfortunately, shit like that and far worse tends to go down behind the scenes at illegal shops. But the second story, as a former event producer myself, I know that one all too well because the same damn thing happened to me out here in LA. Not long before the pandemic hit, I had a popular monthly CBD brunch series that had been running nearly 2 years. And after talking about it on a podcast with a prominent white-owned news publication, they copied my idea to a T on a much larger scale, slightly changing the name after dodging multiple requests from myself and my sales team to collect on-promise sponsorship money. Needless to say, we ended settling out of court thanks to me having all of our ducks in a row on the trademark end of the equation. Moral of the story, if you're trying to build something from the ground up, get a good trademark lawyer and protect your assets. As we wind down the final days of Black History Month in 2023, I got to say this year's been pretty quiet in the cannabis industry. Naturally, with more states moving towards legalization and decriminalization, we have more Black businesses and Black business owners in the space than ever before. But proportionately, ownership percentage is down less than 2% compared to about 4% 3 years ago. Is why I amplify and uplift as many Black and brown companies I can when I know that the people running, when I actually do know the people that are running them, even if they're rocking with big box booth MSOs. Our options are way too limited than our white counterparts because economic racism is real and continues to be as American as apple pie and chattel slavery. Even with what little representation BIPOC entrepreneurs currently have in cannabis, culture vultures continue to make our lives a living hell, whether it's directly or not. This is why it's important to point out the bad actors, even if it means that we end up taking that L economically, unlike those choosing to keep their mouths shut and take the abuse. In the long run, it hurts us all. I hope Danielle Cruz found a better company to work for that actually respects who she is and the company she represents, and that Vic Styles and Black Girl Smoke continues to grow and thrive in the industry as they should. This is Rico Lamitte, dopest dad on the street. I'd like to hear from the rest of you guys. What do you think about this, Jason?